So when you hear the expression, God, I wonder what these streets would say if they could talk, Sarasota Street Talk is making the streets talk, and we're recording what they're saying. So that, to me, that is what Sarasota Street Talk is all about.
Sarasota Street Talk is to introduce people of the surroundings.
We're literally right now, we're downtown Sarasota, and we hear people all around us telling different stories. Those are the streets talking.
All right, here we are. We're on. Okay, so
We're
here
back.
again, we're back. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're looking at about, what, quarter to 12 now?
It's about 11:45 right now.
11:45.
Yeah, a beautiful, beautiful day here at the Bazaar at Apricot and Lime.
We had,
what's the address of the place? Where would one go to find the Bazaar and Apricot and Lime, Scott?
I don't know, like somewhere around Apricot.
Apricot and Lime. Yeah, the cross streets of Apricot and
something.
Lime.
Yeah.
It's where you would find the Bazaar. It's a beautiful day here. A couple clouds in the sky. Again,
Right.
Scott was saying we're going on about noon.
Yeah.
And just have been so excited. We're just waiting for this moment right now.
Yeah, it
because
is.
we have.
We've.
Why is that, Scott?
Because we talked a while back, Bri and I, about getting her on the podcast, and the schedule is
It's our guest we
She's
have here in
extremely
front of us.
busy with 8 million shows a week, and so it's
8
been
million.
kind of back and
Damn,
forth.
8 million.
But we're glad to have her here today.
Yeah.
It's a great day to have her here. She's at Cask tonight.
Mm-hmm.
She was at Marina Jack's last night.
Right.
And we'll talk to
regular
her about her
gigs, yeah, and
schedule.
she'll let us know.
She's all over, and she's everywhere.
Apparently,
Yeah.
you guys know. You guys
Yeah,
know. I
Yeah,
don't-
you have
We're-
Facebook. You post your schedule on Facebook. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, what am I
we are-
doing? What am I doing?
We are fans upon fans.
Yes.
So,
And
all
so
right,
are so many other people over at Cask,
so-
a lot, and wherever, yeah.
so glad. Thank you so
So
much for
Bri
taking the
Rivera.
time. I know you are very busy. You've got stuff happening tonight. But taking the time to come by and see us real quick.
Absolutely. My
So,
pleasure.
please, even though we just gushed all over you just now, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself, and letting us
then
know
just
about.
tell us
yeah.
a little bit about, and we'll ask you a bunch of questions.
No, absolutely. Well, first off, thank you guys for having me. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed
Cheer.
the little gift I brought
Yes.
you guys.
Yes, we
Uh,
love the juice
Right
at
on.
noon
Bri
on a
brought
Saturday.
she brought us some
A little
Coke,
Pepsi.
some Cokes,
Just
just a Coke.
just a Coke.
Just a
everybody.
Coke.
Just a Coke.
No Siesta Key rum
Over
in this
there.
Coke.
Over there.
No Siesta Key rum in this.
Yeah, you guys are gonna learn
Which
about
is
me real
like a
quick.
tent right behind us,
Uh-huh.
That's part of my success here in Sarasota. Is this kind of afternoons out here with people like you guys. So
Well,
yeah,
during
once
your break
again,
at Cask, I got to buy you a
People
drink.
like you guys, like alcoholics, basically.
my
she
safety
said.
meetings, huh?
the
You
ones
heard-
that
People
she
like you
sees at the
guys.
bars all the time.
Yeah, it's like,
She knows us.
yep. All right. So,
All right, so Bri, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know you play in bands, you play in duos, and then you play solo. So
Yeah,
Let it
and
rip.
that's exactly how it started. We actually tried starting out about 10, 11 years ago with a band, 4-piece, off rip, and that didn't go over very well because nobody knew who we were, and competition stiff. A lot of talent here in this town, and a lot of standing gigs, musicians, if you may.
yeah.
So it was. I said, you know what? Let me reel it back, and I'm gonna just hit up some open mics and go solo.
Oh, did she tip?
Did
Actually,
I-
you know
it's
what?
okay,
You're
it's
still
still
good.
there.
You know what? Hey, look at you. Hey, look at you.
It looks better now.
You're tilted, Scott. But no, you look awesome. Look at you.
I am tilted.
No. He's good. He's good.
I'm sorry. Am I gonna break it more now?
No.
But we're live now. This is good.
Okay, so you know what? So we're gonna
Make
ask.
it a little
keep on
taller.
going. I'm gonna go over there.
All right, well,
as
so do
you're-
that. Okay,
'cause
that's right. Well, you have it on Bri now, so we're
love-
good.
I love
That's
being
good.
live. I love
I
being
love being live. Isn't it great being live?
I'm gonna
well,
keep
we're
my
having
hands
it
to
live.
myself like
no,
the song.
no, I know you're just
I'm very
jazz.
you're
Me,
right.
I'm the same way. I'm Italian a little
So
bit. So
yeah, no, definitely.
So I'm going to back up a second. Are you?
I just wanted to leave. I was ready
To be an artist?
Nope, to be away from everybody.
Okay.
I just needed a change. I knew that there was more to me than I was able to explore maybe where I was at that point in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I always had, my dad lived in New York for a long time, so I always had the curiosity. I love the American culture. I love the English language, even though It's been a challenge,
No.
right?
You do
tell
very
me,
well
but-
now.
Yeah,
It's-
your
you're
English is a
great
lot
now.
better than my Spanish. Or,
Yeah, whatever.
So that was why I went. That's why I
So
left.
Puerto Rico to New York.
Yep, and
Okay.
I went there, learned all my bad English there. I
Yeah,
was there for
exactly.
2 years.
Now she's got a New York accent.
Yeah. So
Left Puerto Rico, go to New York.
I'm New
right?
York
right,
I
I can
became
totally
a New
tell.
York.
again, that Boston accent is so
That's so
strong that you
funny.
got.
And and I ended up coming here on a family vacation. Pretty much, I had family that lived here in Northport.
Okay.
And I, through Facebook, believe it or not, because I was at a point, I don't know how in depth we want to get, but it was
No,
I was a
we'll have it
teenager
get-
coming
yeah.
out of the closet. I mean, I had so much stuff going on personally and
Yeah.
not knowing where
Yeah.
to go. So I stopped talking to my family. They wouldn't understand where I was at that time in my life.
Yeah.
And thanks to Facebook, one of my dear cousins found me on Facebook. And she said, you should come here. You should come to Florida. We're living good. Dad's got your back. My uncle, who's married to the family, is like my best friend.
Yeah.
And I will never forget. He
That's
got me
awesome.
an $80 ticket one way from New York to Florida.
And the rest is in the
And
rearview
the
mirror.
rest
And
is
the rest is back in the
here
back.
we
So
are.
Northport, then you worked your way up to Sarasota,
Yeah.
and you got up here with a four-piece band, and said, "Yeah, this ain't going so good."
I
That's
went
why I
solo.
interrupted you.
No,
So then you
my-
went solo.
I went solo and I started hitting some open mics. Started up in a old packing house cafe, which has been around forever. I didn't even know what an open mic was. I was a marine carpenter for about 4 years, and I sang at a Christmas party because they were having a low budget company party, and I said, "Yeah, I can sing a couple of songs." And not, mind you, this is like 12 years ago, right?
And your English is probably
Very
not
bad.
quite as good as it is now, right?
Absolutely. So at first they were like, no, you don't have to, we'll hire a DJ. And my roommate at the time had heard me and he said, you should give her a chance. She'll sing 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah. And Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, all of
over
that.
and over and over
And
again.
my QA at the time said, girl, do you know where you live? I remember him saying that to me. And he goes, they pay you here to sing. And I
Yeah.
said, really? I said, I'll learn some more songs.
Right.
And he goes, look, find an open mic and meet some people. And that's when I said the rest is history, because I went to Old Packing House, and I went Monday after Monday when the Alvis's brothers are there, which they're still there. And now they're huge fans of mine. That was like my very first stage. And now I host my own open mic on Wednesdays for the last 10
where
years.
is that?
Oh, where's that
At the
at?
210 Tavern on Fruitville Road,
Okay.
which is a little hidden neighborhood bar, beer and wine, super chill.
Is
It's
it-
my home bar.
Yeah, is
So
that
you
by
let-
Richardson?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's right in the
by-
corner by
right
Richardson.
there.
You hang a left as you're going out towards 75.
Right.
Yep.
Left, and you keep on going. There's a soccer field on the left-hand side. It's
Yep.
off. Yeah,
Yep.
that place is
So
really
that
badass.
place
So
is
Wednesdays
really
you have open mic for
For
people who
amateur.
are like what you were a few
Absolutely.
years back.
Yep,
That's cool.
absolutely.
Very cool.
And I love it.
She's
I
a
meet
mentor.
She's a mentor, yeah.
A lot of people say that to me
That's
lately,
very
and
good.
I am very thankful because I had a lot of that for help and people that really believed in what I was doing and kept pushing me for more. And here we are again now with a 3-piece, pretty solid 3-piece, and with friends like Brian Bird and Thorson Moore, JJ Patishaw, kid out of Tampa that plays with us. I mean, a lot of great individuals that play some bad lead guitars. And
Yeah.
hey, like tonight, if you want to hear some of that, we're going to be at Cask,
Wow.
right?
Caskin.
Oh, I've never been there. Can you tell me
No,
where
no,
that
okay.
is?
Yo, Caskin. Hey,
I have a
Cass?
W-2 waiting for me at the
I've
end
got
of
a-
every
I've got a cop-
January. I have to go pick up my W-2. I'm like, you guys should just.
I got a
might as well
cot in the
just work
back.
here.
I got my
right?
mail sent there.
That's
I love
funny.
that place. It's the
It's a
first
great
place.
venue.
That's the first place I ever found. I was when I first moved to Florida. I was staying temporarily in. Well, I was actually not even living here. I was visiting my sister, and they had a place in Port Charlotte. And I'm like, I'm going to move here eventually, and I kind of want to go to Sarasota. So I eventually, on a vacation here, I came up to Sarasota. The first place I went into was Cask. Afternoon, but loved it. And then I eventually moved to Port Charlotte for 3-4 months, stayed in their place when they were up north, and then moved to Sarasota, and now I'm like a regular.
I hear you, man. When I moved to Sarasota, because I lived in Northport for a year, but you got to remember, I came from New York.
Yeah.
They took me
Yeah,
from
yeah,
New
yeah.
York to Northport.
A little different.
A little bit culture shock.
It
A
was
little bit of culture shock.
Yeah.
It was more cultural shocking than going from Puerto Rico to New York.
And I want to be a rock star someday, and I
It
don't
was-
think it's going to happen in Northport.
Yep.
So considering the company I worked for was in Bradenton, and I did that commute for a year, my ex-wife had her mom had moved to Sarasota, so that's how I drove in the town. I remember coming into Bahia Vista, and it was just so pretty
Yeah.
and old Florida. Like it reminded me of home a lot. Like I love Puerto Rico. I don't miss Puerto Rico for the right reasons, because this place is a
Right.
lot like home.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of cool. So that's how I wound up in Sarasota, and eventually I just wanted to pursue the music thing.
Right. And so when you went from this 4-piece band, you went to a solo gig. And I don't know what year it was, kind of, if you want to give us a time.
2012-ish.
2000. Oh,
Yeah.
So like a while, 10,
Right
11
about
years.
Because I remember last April was 10 years that I know my bass player, Randy Bordon, who has been playing with me for the last 10 years. And that was crazy, because it was somebody that also worked with me at the Marine Carpentry Company. And I was going solo, trying to explore the open mics. And I remember he called me, it was like a Thursday, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, it was really random. Hey, Bri. I was like, hey, man, everything good? He says, yeah, I have a friend. His brother just came here from Cuba. Great bass player. I know you're doing the music thing. You think you have a spot for him? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have a bass player, so I'll meet him. And he's like, all right, we're on the way to your house right now. I said,
Glad you
"It's
said
Thursday."
That's the
Hey.
music. That's the music
It
industry,
was
right?
Crazy.
That is awesome.
And he showed up, and I remember meeting Randy Bordon, amazing musician. And we were in my garage till like 3 in the morning. And I remember playing Black Magic Woman. I said, all right, you say you're a bass player, let me hear what you got. And we just, I mean, I call him my brother from another island. Because he has an amazing story himself too. So that's been my bass player. Then we met Johnny Schrader at Scob. You guys in Siesta
Yeah, I know
Key.
Scob,
That was another one of the open mics,
Yeah.
open jams we used to go to. And I met this 16. I don't know if you guys know who Sandy Greco is. She's a great drummer around
I
town.
don't
She's
know.
she's no longer here. I think she's in Tampa now. Amazing drummer, and she had a school. And she goes, I cannot drum for you, Bri, when I asked her, but I have this student that's like ready. And he was 16 when we met him, and she was right. He drummed with us for like 4 years, 6
Okay.
years. Now he's like all grown, big beard. Randy's bald. It's been a long 10 years.
Right, yeah.
It's been great though. So that's how the whole scene, people started knowing who I was in Siesta
Yeah.
Key. I played a lot for Daiquiri Deck, 6 years, amazing platform, the guys there. All thanks to Owen Farrell from
at
Cask.
yeah. He's the GM at Cask.
Mhm.
He's amazing person in my. He was a pivoting point for me in my career here in Sarasota. And he might not know this. I hope that he sees this. And he knows how much I love him and respect him. But we started at Walt's Fish Market.
Yeah.
That's where Owen was manager. And when he went to Daiquiri Deck, he brought me with him. And he went to Cask. And before
So
Brian Bird got that
you went
gig,
there,
I
yeah.
got offered
So
that
so
gig.
you, so
But I
this was your
couldn't
band.
do it.
So this was your band. You had a band at the time.
Correct.
And there are, who
It
was in
just
that
a three-piece.
band?
Me, Randy, and Johnny
And
Schrader
Johnny.
was the
so
drummer.
a drummer, a bass player, and you were playing. Do you play lead and acoustics, or what do you kind of?
I don't
I always
wanna
see you. I
s-
think on acoustic.
Yeah, I do
right?
acoustic. I do some licks, if you may,
Right.
some pretty stuff here and there because I have to. But I've relied on my vocal.
So the three of
much,
you. So the three of you still play together?
No.
That threesome? No. Okay. So when did that
Unfortunately-
kind of blend? When did you blend into? I guess Brian's group. Because that's where
That
I
was my
think
question,
that's
too.
where we know. Because that's where we know you
Mhm.
from, a cast.
Yep.
I mean, but you're not always there. Like Taylor's there, and somebody else is
Yeah,
some
yeah,
a
Taylor-
guest here and there, whatever.
Absolutely.
Brian sometimes sings if he's ever around.
Brian
Brian,
is big time
Brian,
now.
when are you gonna come back in
Come
town,
on,
man?
Brian.
Jeez.
Yeah, we miss you.
Traveling the
him and
world.
I,
God,
him
he's
and I have a lifetime
gallivanting
of
around.
him and I have so many inside jokes with Brian Bird. It's unbelievable.
He's amazing.
So,
He's a great character.
So tell me about you kind of going there, and it's and not to jump ahead too far.
No, absolutely.
But tell me about the last couple, 2-3 years, I guess, and and today, where
So,
you're at,
where
and all the gigs you do.
Where we went before COVID, I was gigging like 6 days a week, doubles. I mean, we were working, so busy. And after COVID, it was such a big change for all of us.
So where were
here.
you? 6 days a week. Where were you going?
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Once
for me,
again,
because I'm new to town,
Daiquiri Deck. I
Deck.
mean, I wasn't playing at Marina Jacks yet. I was playing at El Melvin in Sarasota because I was playing for Two Señoritas before Melvin took over.
Okay.
I still hosted my open jam, playing for the Parrots, a lot of
Oh, yeah,
local
okay,
stuff,
yeah.
and like that's when
And
I
this
left
was the three of
key.
you guys, or this was
This
you
was
by
mostly
yourself?
me and Randy.
Okay.
A lot of the gigs are me and Randy
Okay.
over the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Because I just found it hard to find consistency.
Right.
It's really hard having a band and keeping it together.
Yeah.
And music is easy, but personality is not so much,
Right.
you know. And I think everybody knows that.
right.
I mean, the big bands talk about it all the time, you know. So once I was a little more established with Randy and my drummer Adam, who's been with us 2 years now, great kid out of Buffalo, New York. My Damon, Brian Bird's drummer, his wife happens to work with mine, and he said, "Hey, I need a lead singer. Brian's gonna be out of town a while." And actually, I'm lying. I'll take that back. Thorson was sick. Brian was in town. I was covering for Thorson.
Okay.
And the first night we met was at Blase Cafe. I just went there on a Thursday. We all met in the parking lot. I've never met Andrew Glasgow, the bass player, Brian. I follow them online. I know who they were, and they knew who I was, but never met. And we just went.
Yeah.
First song we sung was "How Far Is Heaven" by the Those Lonely Boys, I
Right.
believe.
Yep.
And it rocked.
How far
It
is
rocked, and
That's
I
great.
never seen the pedal steel like
Yeah.
in action. We were fangirling over each other. Actually, it was pretty funny. And that's when the whole thing started. And they kept offering me more dates and wanting to work more with me. And then Brian started traveling with the cruise line.
Right.
So I started covering for Brian instead. And I met people like you guys. And it's funny how the fans that are fans of theirs and are fan of mine, but they never had the chance. Like, they were like mind blown when they were like,
Working
"What?
together."
They're gonna play together? That's crazy."
Yeah.
So that has been a push also here in town. Once again, after 10 years, it was like a little bit of a spice. Meeting
Right.
Brian and these guys are fantastic. So I'm
And-
playing with them once
And
a
you
month.
play once a month is when you just one gig a month.
One
I thought
gig.
you were there more often. But I met you out. I met her. She sang, and this is months ago, and I was there as usual. And as it ended at 11 o'clock, walking down, obviously going out the back door of Cask and Ale,
Uh-huh.
and walking through to go over by the
Yeah.
State
And then
Street
you find
parking
yourself at
lot.
Gator Club until
And
2
I was
o'clock in the
standing,
morning.
like, right next to her. I'm like, you and Raphael, who was just there. Raphael was there, and I'm like, you were so great, blah, blah, blah. And she gave me her card. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so cool. So
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you were once a month only then, or maybe a little more, but so you have a standing once a month gig
I
at
gave
Cask and
them-
Ale
yeah,
with
because
the
I-
Dirty Birds. Okay.
Correct. They have we are trying to continue to work with them, but I see how I struggle so much to have my own band for 10
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
and then I finally get it, and they're amazing. So I'm like, I wish we would have met
No, but
maybe
so you
5-6 years ago.
So the question, so you do have your own band,
Correct.
and that is
Bri
still
Rivera.
the three of you.
Yes, it's still
Okay.
the three of us.
And tell us where you guys play a lot and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that good?
And I know it's a lot that you play a lot
Yeah, I
because
know.
here recently, and I'm so lucky to be able, and Bri and I are going to be doing a little project together here coming up,
Absolutely.
which is I'm so thankful for. But to try to get in there, she's like, "Hey, how about this?" Nope.
Nope.
I'm like,
No.
"Hey, how about this?" Nope.
I tell you why, and
And,
I,
and as a
And that's
musician-
awesome. That's
and as
awesome.
a musician, that's your goal.
and
Yeah,
I-
no,
and
no,
To be able to say, I don't have time.
I'm just lucky that
Yeah.
we found a time.
Yeah.
Man.
I definitely set a goal, and this is another person that was very crucial in my career. Her name is Gianna Kramer, and she helped me transition because I wanted to quit my day job. And I did it a couple of times, and then I had to go back because it was really tough.
Right.
So I said, all right, well, if I want to do this full time, I have to make sure that I'm booked 6 months ahead. I cannot wait to book in the moment, or I'm
Right.
not gonna eat, or I'm not gonna know. And next thing you know, like right now, I'm booked almost till July of next year
That's
already.
awesome.
But I had to do that, just like I had to learn English. It was really tough in the beginning, and I said to myself, if I don't learn this language, I'm gonna go back to the island and maybe do my music in Spanish. Music is universal,
Yeah.
regardless.
Right.
But I wanted more out of myself, and I'm lucky I landed in this town. This has been an amazing.
So it's kind of funny. So, and if I think way back before we start seeing you at Cask and Ale, and I've got this, and tell me if I'm mistaken. This is probably about 2 years ago. My beautiful wife is sitting right across from me. This is Teresa right there, and we went to Tsunamis. Now, let me know if this sounds familiar. We went to Tsunamis. Remember this, honey? Went to Tsunamis, and there was a lady with an acoustic guitar right next to the aquarium, and she was doing acoustic, and we were in the booth right next to her. Was that you?
No.
Never
Okay,
played
she's like,
Tsunami.
no,
Never
as soon as
played
I-
there, did you?
Hey, as soon as I said tsunami, she's like, I know
Never
where I'm
been
going.
there.
I've never played there, but I was gonna just.
Or was it Epicure? Or not Epicure. Element. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
all
those
right,
ca-
I'm
those
It was a
places-
restaurant.
I'm
you're
0 for
thinking.
2. Never
I
mind.
played El Melvin, Two Señoritas.
Melvin?
That's
Yeah.
that's were the ones.
You know what I'm talking
that
about, Teresa? With
Yeah.
Cinco.
Wow,
Oh,
That
okay,
was a
maybe
huge
that
block
was
one.
it. Okay.
Yeah, that was not an acoustic guitar.
Nope, crash and burn.
That's
Tsunamis.
right, that's
Okay,
right.
it's 0 for
You
2.
I thought,
Hey, if it was more than a month ago, how do we expect you to remember?
That's true.
At
That's true.
82 years old.
At 82 years
That's
old with the
funny.
ADD
Jesus.
that I got.
My
I got
mom
the,
and dad at 80s couldn't remember
I
that
got the
shit.
Alzheimer's kicking in right now.
yeah, no. So yeah, I'm with
No.
my 3-piece on
Yeah.
Friday nights at Marina Jack's because once again, when after COVID, they had hit us up and they started giving us work. So I
So
work
that's every Friday.
every Friday night. I'm there with them, and I'm there on Tuesdays as a duo, me and Randy. So
Okay.
it's a whole different show, which
Right.
we play different songs, a little more mellow, sunset kind of vibe, Patsy
Right.
Cline's kind
Yeah.
of vibes.
Mhm.
And on Fridays we do the dancing stuff and more Latin stuff and things like that.
All right, so I was
So-
joking around a little bit with her before she came on, and so we saw her. Teresa and I went and we saw her over at Marina
Marina
Jack,
Jack's,
and we've seen you over at Cascadale, but we were appreciating
Marina Jack's a little bit
appreciating from afar.
quieter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
as a couple going out for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we were fans from afar, right?
Oh, this is
I
payback.
did the same
This is
thing. Yeah, payback.
Yeah.
I knocked that
So-
camera on her over. She knocked the camera on me
Oh,
over.
are we knocking cameras all
You're
over
the
the
only one
place?
who hasn't knocked the camera over yet.
The Italiano.
So I can't reach the camera. It's right
That's
there.
right. That one's safe.
Okay, so Teresa and I are over at Marina Jack's, and Jack rather, and so the joke was when most people, so she's saying, okay, here, let me take it back.
Oh,
a little bit.
I know
Take
I
it
know
back
what
a
he's
little bit.
saying. I know what he's
So
going with
she's
this.
curious.
saying
Yep.
a rendition of "Creep" by Radiohead,
That's all he talks about.
and I cried, and that's a sad song.
Oh,
But I mean, I
that's
didn't cry for that reason. I was just crying. It was so beautiful.
Oh my god.
And
thank
so-
you.
He's been you've been talking about that since
I
the
know.
day it happened.
He
a
loves
month
Yeah,
ago.
Teresa just wants me to shut up about it because I've talked so much about it. But and this was, and we'd seen you at Cast before that, but we were admiring you from afar, so we didn't make
Right.
contact, and
Right on.
occasionally we'd say something. But as I had to come up there and talk to you about that.
That I remember you saying
Right?
hello.
And so then when we saw you after that over at Cascadale, and I could just see you do this. As I'm walking up, like I knew what you were like.
I
Creep,
said-
right?
There's
Creep.
a thing I say.
And I think Teresa put a 20. I think she put a $20 bill in there or
Worth
something.
it. Worth it.
I will give you.
Hey, the jukebox would have
Teresa's
done it for $2.
Teresa says, "I'll give you $20
Not to sing whatever he asks you.
Do not sing creep.
Don't
There's
sing
20
Creep.
bucks.
The jukebox would have done it for $2.
So the joke kind of is now. So when anybody in the crowd yells "Freebird," I'm the one that's screaming out "Creep!" Radiohead.
It's a great song. I
It is a
never
great song.
thought
Why
that.
did you pick that? I mean, just out of all songs, it's so obscure. I mean, not
Well,
obscure.
not really. She could. Yeah, she.
No,
was
I'm not saying
kill
for
it.
you.
I
I'm
No,
could
just
no,
see
no.
her
I
killing it.
understand.
That's not a coverable
But
song.
Yeah,
if you
right.
think about the words and the very, very, very end of the song when he says, "I don't belong here," because you got to remember, music, you can make it whatever you want.
Right.
So maybe you think it's obscure because you're relating to it in a different way. I'm
Yeah.
relating to that song in a sense of
I
I feel
don't
like I'm so
belong
much
here.
better.
Somewhere out of-
I need
that
to
you're
go.
not.
You know, I don't belong here.
But I'm
I
here.
belong somewhere else.
But
Absolutely.
here.
And
So, and
that's a very
I'm
good
guessing
point.
I
That's a
would
good
bet.
point, yeah.
I'll bet $100 that she played it after 10 p.m. Because none of the crowd before 9
You
would
know-
have known that song.
Yeah, it's so funny.
That's
After
the
10
thing we always
PM,
talk about, Brian.
It's very
Yes.
acceptable. Like she could
9
go on,
to 10.
She could
yeah.
play the B-52's Rock Lobster
Yeah.
or something, and people would be like,
You know what? It's
Oh no,
crazy.
but it's like
people hate the B-52s.
Well, we had Brian. Brian was one of our very first guests months and months ago, and I said the conversation was so I've noticed at 7 it's like old music, and then 8:30 gets a little better, and then after 9, 10 later in the night. Well, you play from 7 to 10.
7 to 11.
7 to 11.
Yep.
And then it's like just. He goes, yeah, well, then we just rip it. That last set from 10 to 11.
Right.
So I'm guessing Creep was probably later.
So here, I'll give you a little
I'm
insight.
old, but I still love Creep.
I'm gonna give you a little insight on the way
doesn't?
that we work our set lists,
All right.
which at least for me, I always tell people if you have any request, we don't take requests because requests create disappointment.
Right.
Yeah.
We take suggestions. I mean, it's unreal when you don't know Sweet Caroline, it's like a fight is gonna break out. It's crazy. So I
Oh,
ran
it's
away.
funny she brings up Sweet
all the
Caroline.
gray hair, all the
'Cause
gray,
that's
all the blue
all the
gray
blue
hairs
hairs.
and blue
Yeah.
hairs and all that.
So, anyways,
I
when it
gotta-
comes to, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And no, their music's so great at Cask, even from the 7 to 8 crowd.
Exactly.
It's still great
about the
music for
crowd.
people.
Right.
It's
Sorry.
about the crowd. We want the
Okay.
wine to
No,
kick
But
in.
it's not that bad.
Bum, bum,
Yeah, it's
bum.
not that.
When you wanna, we wanna do the people. We wanna open, for example, with a song that everyone can relate to. So
Yeah.
let's do "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac.
There you go.
You
Right,
know,
right.
and that is gonna
And
set
take
the
it to
tone.
Purple Rain.
And that's
That's
gonna
going to
set
take your
the tone.
50 group, 50 to 60 group.
We're
right?
gonna,
Fleetwood
it's gonna help
Mac.
us gauge the
and
room.
get the room.
It's
Yeah.
a song that literally helps us gauge the room, whether we wanna get out of there or this is where they are. And that's
a great
kind of
point
how-
because it also by the vibe you get back is kind of
And
like
Dreams is a song that
which
became famous
direction are we gonna
again
go?
with the TikTok society like a year or two ago. They blew up again because of using the song. Ocean Spray took it and put it in a commercial, and the people that didn't know that song
Right.
learned it and loved it. So it works in that sense.
That's kind of like you got guys, 15-year-old kids right now who are like cranking Ozzy songs out. I love Ozzy.
Right.
Where'd you learn that song? Oh, Guitar
It's like-
Hero.
Exactly.
Back. Well, that's a little bit
So,
longer back. Guitar
and,
Hero.
and it
It's true,
reminds me when we had Joey D on. And it's like, Joey D, so what kind of music
Love
do
Joey.
what do you do, right? He goes, well, I play stuff, and I can tell by the crowd what I should be playing. He goes, I've had a lot of Latinos, in the crowd, so I know I need to play that kind of music. Or I have, older people, I play that. Or, and as the day changes, is 3 hours of doing DJing, I change by the crowd.
I have to
And
give
I-
it to the
I look-
DJs, though.
yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks, and
Right.
they deserve a lot of credit. Joey is an amazing personal friend of mine,
Yeah.
which I met through Gianna Kramer, once again, the lady from Marketing on Main. And Joey is amazing. We've played some weddings together. We go.
Oh,
and-
really? That's
yeah,
cool.
and it's a great time. He's somebody very easy to work with,
Yeah.
easy to get along with. We both have heavy accents, so we don't understand
Yeah,
each other.
exactly. And you've both been on the podcast. We should play those 2 podcasts back to back.
I
Like
love
5
Joey.
minutes of her, 5 minutes of Joey, 5 minutes of Brussels and Puerto Rico. Brussels and Puerto Rico.
No, Joey's great. My love to
But-
Joey.
but,
Hey, and so
um,
what's so cool too is he's got a little
Right. Academy.
academy
Yeah.
going on. So
Yeah.
like those
The
little
11 brothers.
fledglings
You,
like us,
you,
like I want to
yeah,
get
yeah.
up there and learn how to do it. Yes, I do, Teresa. I want to be a DJ. Okay, I'm gonna quit real estate and become a DJ.
So when you say that, but you have a playlist kind of set at a place like Cask with the Dirty Birds. But you, like you say, you play the early on. You play Dreams by Fleetwood
Right,
Mac,
right.
and then-
It's-
But then it moves on as you. So you're going to describe your playlist how
Yeah,
you kind of see
so
the
it
crowd is
grows.
just getting older and younger.
Absolutely.
Right.
Or not even, I think at that point, the age is not even something that I think of. Yes, it's in the back, like as far as but when the vibe is there, it doesn't matter. People are going to jam to whatever you
Right.
play, like he said. And when you have such good caliber musicians, I mean, Thorson Moore, once again, Brian Bird, these guys, Andrew on his bass, these guys are just phenomenal. So no matter what you play, and I found, at least for me, and the compliments that people give me about my vocal and my range, from the voice to the song
Yeah.
choice and things
Yeah.
like that, it's become really easy to give the crowd what they want increasingly, from J-Lo to freaking, what does Brian play there? What's going on? That's
or
it,
you're like,
those.
oh god,
Marvin Gaye.
yeah,
Marvin
yeah.
Gaye.
What's Rick James?
Yes, he does.
Super
freak. He gets
Super
him
freak.
going. I
Super
mean,
freak
and
there.
when I'm playing,
Ow.
it's challenging working with Brian because even though we're sharing the stage and I'm a guest, we don't want to crash
Right.
style-wise. So playing with Brian could be challenging as far as keeping that level when he goes there, and then
Yeah.
they're like, okay, Bri, it's your turn.
He's only here once every 6 months, anyways. When I saw him with the Lee Boys over at Big Top, I went up to him. I said, "I can't believe they still call it the Dirty Birds, because you're never here."
But that's respect. That's respect.
No, he's a good guy.
And
He
now,
is.
so
but you guys carry it without him. And so, I mean, yeah, it's not.
this is what's gonna
but
happen.
You do. I mean, whether it's you or Taylor or Thorson.
Taylor's amazing.
I met Thorson at Mandeville's. So do you go to Mandeville's on
I
Sundays
have played
still?
with
Do you guys
them.
still there on Sundays?
I don't know
Haven't
that
been
they're
in a
doing it
while.
anymore.
Okay.
They're gonna renovate at Mandeville, I believe. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
some
Oh,
things
they're
that are
next.
gonna happen.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next ones are
the next renovation.
You
in
got
town?
Patrick's.
Yeah, yeah.
Rising
Nyes
Nyes,
and
and
the
We gotta grow.
Madisons.
We keep growing, baby.
No,
This
right?
town is booming,
know.
and
God bless.
we
God
are.
bless.
I honestly, yes,
Yeah.
that's the right
So,
word.
so to back up again, so Marina Jack every Friday,
Mhm.
And then one Tuesday a month? Did you
No,
say?
I'm there
sorry.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Tuesdays and Fridays,
Yeah.
every week.
Every week.
Okay, and Tuesdays a duo,
Fridays 3-piece.
3-piece. Okay,
Yeah.
where else?
I'm at the Parrot, which is a local
Oh,
gold
yeah.
mine. I know it's not downtown.
Is that on Beneva and
Weber,
something?
yeah.
I accidentally went there the other day.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Salty Jim's, and I went there.
Oh,
I'm
there
new.
you
I'm
go.
kind of new.
There you
So I'm
go.
driving there. I go, that must be it. I see this blue building.
Mhm.
I went there. Great place. I love
Great
it.
place.
I love it.
Great
but,
food.
But yeah, I went in there. So because I never really go out.
Yeah,
like
Salty Jim's is
downtown.
good too.
Salty Jim's, Virginia, who has. Do you know Virginia here? She's an artist.
Maybe.
She's a bartender there on Sunday, so I was there to find her
Okay,
to
okay.
sit with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And I ended up at Parrot, and then I went over there.
Right
Anyways,
on. So, no,
I
I'm at the
we
Parrot.
digress. But so
Once
the
a month, I'm
Parrot.
there the first Saturday of every month. I'm
First
there,
Saturday, okay.
and I'll be there
Is that
next Thursday
solo
too.
or-
No, that's with a duo.
Duo, okay.
Yeah, and the open jam on Wednesdays
At 2:10.
at the 210.
Right.
Yeah, and right now my Thursdays are being very flexible. I was working Blase with the boys here and there, and I took the rest of my Thursdays this year off. I'm making some. All the time in the studio. Also, we're recording some original music, and that's another thing
Well, you
that's
seem so
coming.
happy.
I'm excited
You can
about
tell that
that.
her career, and when you go back 10 years to now, and it's gotta be like.
Never thought I would be
Big
here.
difference, yeah.
2017, I finally quit the day job, and
And then during COVID, what did you do during COVID
so during
to survive?
absolutely, we were playing so much. Like I was saying, we were playing so much that year before
Leading up to
COVID
it.
that we were not even spending money because we didn't have time to. So luckily, we had a nice savings account. And on top of that, let me tell you, man, people in this town are just amazing. People bringing us food, like from the pantries, produce, other bartenders and friends from the industry. I had the most significant help we got, me and Randy both. We have these fans, they're a couple, and they sent us a $500 check each every month, April through April.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm talking about they paid half of our rent. It was crazy. So that's how we got through COVID. We did a couple of concerts in my apartment complex, and even everyone across the street on their little chairs and stuff like that. Oh
6
my
feet
god!
apart?
Yeah, no, they're coolers
I'm
and
just
they're
kidding.
yeah. It was
They weren't 6 feet apart.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, they were 20 feet apart.
So is this the, so before we, we have time yet, but I don't know, Mark's doing technical stuff. So is this the greatest city in the world? Come on.
you know
I've been
what?
there 1 year. I love it here.
But see, that would be unfair for me to say that, right? Because I haven't experienced other things. Do I see myself anywhere else and trying to do this? No. Sarasota, like I say, people tell me, oh, how come you're not famous? Or how come you don't have this? Or how come? And it's, first of all, it's not our plan. There's a plan out there for us, and we just have to try to weave through it, right? And get there. And if a lot of talent falls through the cracks, and this has been a great crack for me to fall through. Sarasota is just an amazing town.
And like getting there and being famous and all that, it's kind of relative. Like what do you
You're famous
feel?
here, right?
And it's
Like-
scary.
And last week was a very interesting
I'm giddy
conversation.
you being here on the show.
Yeah.
Because you're
No, we
famous
are.
to us. Like
To us,
this is
you're
you're ser- yeah.
I really,
And
I saw it
everybody
coming.
here knows you and knows who you are. And last week,
And if you're happy-
Twinkle's, people are like, why didn't you, become famous? And you need to know more people. She goes, I know everybody, and she did know everybody. But that's not how it works in the industry, right?
Not at all.
And
Thank you so much.
Oh, see,
there you go.
fans everywhere.
And so that's it.
I
It's
appreciate that.
It's like you're famous here. And yes, you might become more famous and then somewhere else, like the comedian from the police, Mike Stevens. He's like an MC comedian, and he's like, I'm gonna be like in New York and LA in like 3 years.
And that's-
We're like,
and that's great for
we're
him.
flipping you off right now because you're gonna forget about us.
I
If that
will
happens-
never.
No. But if
not
it
you,
happens,
not you, like-
not you. Well, both of you.
Or both,
But
yeah.
that's what
Okay,
we
me
wish.
too.
But that's what we
Well,
wish for.
humble right now. You know, never get,
No, no.
hey, how you
I'm
doing?
way
You'd be like,
grounded.
and
No,
so
no.
you are who?
What's your name?
Yeah, yeah.
Your name is,
But that's what
remember
we.
the podcast?
I think
remember.
that's what we wish
Yeah, get
for.
away. Hey, security.
I think that the people of Sarasota, us two, and everybody in Sarasota who knows you and thinks you're awesome and you're famous here, we want that.
Yeah, for you.
I would love in 2 years for you to come here and do a gig. Like we saw you on a TV show.
Yeah.
or,
No,
you were famous, same with Mike Stevens, the comedian, and that you got to that point and you wanted to do that. 'Cause that's what your
they put me
ambition
on the
is.
ticket this week on the Herald Tribune, which I don't. A lot of times, the venues pay for the propaganda or whatever they're saying, right? And I have a friend of mine who's 86 years old. He's a retired
Oh, he's
firefighter.
He's
What's that?
alright.
He's
He's alright.
He probably went to high school with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I
probably.
graduated with him.
Yeah, I think I graduated before him.
His name is Al Post. He was a firefighter. He retired right after 9/11, or before 9/11 happened. And he has an
Oh, in New
amazing
York?
story. Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
was from New York. So I golf with him. I go and get the balls from the ditch and stuff
He
like
lives
that.
here?
He lives here. He is a fan. I mean, he loves me. It's so cute, right? And he calls me 2 days ago. He can barely talk to me. Bri, you have to buy the paper. I said, really? And he goes, you're on the paper. And he read me like the whole
This
little
is the
thing.
paper road?
No, here, the
Here,
Herald
in
Tribune
Sarasota?
here
Oh,
in
in the Herald
Sarasota,
Tribune.
yeah. And he was like so excited, and I stopped at the 7-Eleven, and it was the last paper, right? So I opened it to make sure the ticket was still in it. I was like, oh yeah, I am on the paper. And the chick goes, no way. And I show her the paper, and she goes, look, she's on the paper. The whole 7-Eleven employees, here comes the other lady, and she goes,
Get pictures?
my mom loves you. It was really awesome. So yeah, here in Sarasota, it feels good
It
to
feels
be
great.
known.
Yeah, 'cause you work so hard to be able to, so
Thank you.
And now you've gotten to the point
Results
that
of your
everybody
efforts.
knows you, people stop and say, and people I run into, they go, oh, we love Bri, so, just keep spreading the word.
Absolutely. Nothing but love. Nothing but good things.
yeah, we're gonna try not to go and monopolize like tonight, for instance, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
I'll throw a bunch of songs at you.
There you go.
Teresa and I would be flipping 20s into the thing.
I'm gonna play.
Radio.
Teresa's got 20 not to play Creep.
Yeah.
Mark's got 40 to play
Who's got
Creep.
more?
She's got
Okay.
60
Hey,
not to play.
everybody
got 60.
Let's go. They'll be outbidding each
Keep it
other.
coming.
Anybody in the room have 100 to not play Creep? Anybody?
I love that song. I love the song. And another thing about that song,
Teresa goes to the bathroom. Creep is
Okay,
on.
Creep, okay.
She'll be doing Creep when you're in the bathroom.
the thing with Creep is that just like other songs like from Adele or Lady Gaga or these other excellent singers, is that they have pushed my vocal to a place that I never knew that I could go. I would have never even attempted to do something like that, like writing an original song or something like that. Versus now, I want to. Now I do that with my original stuff. I want to see where I can go and what I can do. And Creep has done that for me.
So so that brings me to this though. So and maybe this might have been answered before. I'm not sure. But, so
Yeah,
original work.
10 minutes ago, you probably forgot.
Original work.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, 5 minutes ago, I forgot.
Hey, hey Scott, how you doing? Hey, we want to welcome our first guest. Hey, Bri, how are you, Bri?
It's great to have you. Here's a gift for you guys.
Sometimes
gift.
we have
Hey,
sometimes
like a drink.
we have sometimes
We got sometimes disease.
No, yeah, original
or
work.
half timers.
Another shout out to our friend, good friend Kenny from the Grouper Chicks. They're a band out of Nokomis, and he's been having us in his studio and working with us on some original work. We have a single that is gonna get released soon. I don't want to talk too much about that because it's in the works, and you know how it goes.
After releases or before?
I'm not sure. That's in the works. Not sure what we're gonna do.
I know where you're going.
Maybe tonight you play
I
it.
know where you're going.
Tell
I don't
Mark-
think I'm gonna
you
play it
give Mark
tonight.
a couple winks. This is it. This is the new release.
But it's definitely in the works,
Nice.
and we are super excited because it's a song that we're hoping it's a little bit of English and Spanish and just a little bit of flair that the people like. And I come to learn that in this town it's very like my Spanish music has been so welcome. There's a huge Hispanic community here, and not just by them but by the American people here. Love it. They love it. They want to dance to it. They want to so I want to make sure that I do more
We do need a picture.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we need one.
Oh,
we
do you
don't
want-
have any stills.
Absolutely.
Get the good side.
They-
guys. There you go.
Thank you.
I want to be able to bring the Spanish flair to the American people with the English words, if you may. But I want to still keep that dancing stuff to it. So that's part of the project that's been this song, and it's sounding really good. And I hope that you guys are gonna enjoy it.
I would love to hear Despacito in English. I have no
Well,
idea what that
I mean,
has-
your
I have
buddy
no idea.
Justin Bieber did that.
Did he? I
But
don't know.
he sings his own thing.
Yeah.
Burrito,
That's silly,
Dorito,
Justin.
something like that.
That's silly, Billy. Me and Just.
It's-
Just.
So yeah, a lot of we have some original stuff in the works, and we're looking forward to that.
Okay. Oh, and say goodbye to.
Hey, text me that picture.
The fans. I'm glad I get to meet them. I guess little meet and greet
I had
out
a few
here.
people, my friends, my neighbors that were all.
Oh yeah, they said hi.
Yep. Welcome
Yeah.
to say hi. All right. Well, you know what?
All right, so
Any other?
yeah, you know, again. Oh,
Yeah,
there's two
unfortunately, I
things
gotta-
we have to do. Actually,
Oh,
because we have a musician.
there's two things.
Two
Want to do
things
the first
we have to do.
Beetlejuice thing?
Yeah, we'll do that, and you gotta explain it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright,
so,
so-
we do a thing every show. Oh, sorry, do you want to explain it?
No, you can.
Okay.
It's on the camera's on you, so you do
All right.
it.
All right. Well, it's on you now.
All right.
Okay. Now it's on.
You do this, and I'll do
And you do
it.
it? Okay. So we do a thing here that it's just a silly thing that, to try to make the future happen. Have you ever seen Beetlejuice? The
You know,
movie?
you say his
We say his name
three
three times, he appears. So we have a similar thing that we do. So on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brian Johnson,
Brian Johnson, Brian Johnson. All right, so hopefully we said that 3 times. Or Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson from AC/DC. Oh,
You know he's in town.
Yeah.
He lives on Bird Key.
So we do this. It's an
So-
inside joke.
That
It's a silly little thing that possibly.
Mark says
gonna go through the
this show
universe.
is over when we get Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll never do another
We will
podcast
never
after
do
we get
another
Brian
podcast
Johnson.
again.
And I'm like, yes, we will.
It's-
Sure, we
it's
will.
become
'Cause this
the
is
Scott
more,
Madoff Street Talk
but
podcast.
because to me, I like Bri.
No,
I like the
I'm
local
kidding, I'm kidding,
people,
I'm kidding.
but I think Brian Johnson would be cool.
He's local.
That's the
And
people.
he's amazing
It was
too.
gonna be Jerry Springer. We crossed him off.
That was it.
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman. We crossed
He's
him
done.
off.
I'm glad
So
I
Mark-
made the podcast.
So that's what he
Hey,
does.
no,
What's
hey,
his
good
story?
thing they didn't die afterwards.
No, remember that what you do now. As soon as Jerry Springer died, Mark called Brian's handlers. Is he still alive?
Yeah,
Is he
safety
okay?
check.
Is
Safety
he
check.
okay?
Are you okay? Is he good? Please, because
Alright.
we need to have him in the
That's
future.
funny.
And
Okay,
so the other
Scott?
thing we always do, if we remember, is we put you on the spot a little bit. Oh, and you
Don't be
can't.
scared.
And there's one place you cannot miss. Two.
I think I know what that place is.
Right. 2 favorite restaurants in downtown Sarasota, and obviously you know which one you cannot
Yeah.
eat 2 bites.
Right.
That's your
Absolutely.
favorite. We know Castaneo's your favorite. But name the next 2.
I mean,
And we're talking food. So
well,
don't
yeah,
leave
we're
here
talking
getting
about
angry.
absolutely
You
no.
know?
We're talking
No,
where I go, where I
There
go
you
to
go.
eat. I'm
Well,
gonna
So
tell you.
Mandeville's not
people
going to be like,
go-
I didn't hear Mandeville. You can't
No.
say
I'm
that.
gonna say one of my go-tos, which is usually on Tuesdays before Marina Jack gig, and that's where I meet with my social media handler and stuff like that. Is Circo.
Oh,
Love Circo.
Circo.
Yes. I love Circo. I
do
love their
too.
buy one get one on Tuesdays. They're amazing all the time. The bartender is great, and
Buy
they
one
let us do
cocktail
it.
and get one?
No,
Or buy one
tacos.
taco and get one?
Scott.
I'm just
No, but you know
always
what
alcohol.
though? They
Let's
have
do
the
both.
$15 jug of margarita. We've done a couple of those before a gig, and the gig is fun on Tuesday.
I think I've only been there a couple times to eat, but I like Circle.
Yeah,
Very good
so
food.
that would be my first one. That's good. And I guess as far as at dinner and to eat something, and this might be biased because this brings me home though.
Right,
This
right.
is a place
Oh,
that brings me home,
I know it's fine.
and it tastes like grandma made it. What do you think I'm gonna say? Nope. I'm gonna say Latin Quarters.
And quarters.
Oh, LQ.
LQ definitely brings me home. Their flavors and
Is their
stuff.
food really good?
Well, it's Puerto Rican food,
Yeah,
and that, like I said, it tastes like my grandma made it.
Okay.
It's just great stuff. So that's another
That's a
go-to.
great pick.
And they have another location in Beniva, which is super convenient too. So
Okay.
that would be my
Do
two
we
places.
do we want to ask? Are we kind of wrapping up?
Yeah, I think
here
we- yeah, I think we have to
So,
wrap it up.
Is there something you want to share as far as how to contact you if somebody wants to do a
Yeah,
gig?
any kind of
a private?
Instagram
Do you do
post,
do you do private stuff?
I do.
Acoustic solo stuff that you're doing some event.
Yeah, absolutely. We are super flexible and we play from the solo to the 4-piece band, even a 5-piece. I mean, we can take it wherever we need to, according to the venue or the person that wants to hire and the budget, right? And also the time. If you
What
want me
day?
to play a private
And
party,
I know that person.
Yeah,
not
In
tell me
advance.
2
Get
weeks
in
before.
advance.
So yeah, at least 6 months. And here's why. Because even if I'm booked ahead, if you give me 6 months, I can give that venue 6 months. If it's a standing gig that I play every
Right.
month, and the venues that I work with know that I stay busy, and they have to understand that we go where the money is, and where the not so much about the money, but sometimes it's a great exposure gig or just a great opportunity. You're working with someone new, and the venues have been able to understand that. So yes, at least 6 months. can definitely reach out. BriRivera.com. That's like all my info is there.
That's your email.
And that's my website, and you'll find
and then your Instagram.
everything. And there, everything is. You go to that website, and you're gonna see all of our social
phone numbers
media.
and all that.
Everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you
for being patient and okay,
Aw.
for being here.
My
And
pleasure.
you-
Hopefully we'll
easily-
see you tonight. I'm not going to be out late because I've been kind of cutting back a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And
That's it.
We'll take care
Yeah,
of
but
it.
Teresa and I might be out later either.
And I'm not singing creep, I guess.
That's in treatment.
Well, depends on who pays you the most. That's to be like between Teresa and myself. We're
You'll
gonna
be
be
spending all your
outbidding
money.
to each other.
What do you want me to sing, Trish?
Don't play it. Play it.
Teresa, what do you want?
I love every song.
She loves every song you sing.
You guys don't make it
Purple
easy.
Rain, right?
Of course, pick a song that I can't play.
Right? You can play Purple Rain.
Oh,
I've never
Brian
tried it.
probably
Right?
sings
Oh,
that.
Brian.
That's Brian.
Yeah.
1999.
There you go.
It's always Prince songs with
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank
It's
you.
been a
Great
pleasure.
Great to see you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for the
so
cocktail.
much.
Oh,
Thank you
you
for the
got it.
cocktail. That was
The juice.
fantastic.
You
The juice was delicious.
That's great.
All right.
Thank you
that
guys.
Another
was
great
amazing.
episode and interview.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I'm looking forward to
You
this
guys
for
are
weeks.
awesome.
For weeks. All right. So we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. I know we're gonna come back maybe or no?
Yeah, I think
we'll
I'm
come
gonna-
back. Maybe
We might. I have to actually do some shows and stuff, so I'm gonna have to find
well,
this out.
the guests are done.
Yeah.
All
So
the guests
unless
we had planned are done.
you want to go and take it.
We're
A little bit.
almost done anyway. Yeah. All right. So let's say goodbye for the day. We'll be Gator.
Gator.
The 23rd next
Yep.
Saturday, 10 to 1.
And
I know
one.
I only have one person lined up.
Amazing. I'm sorry. Some amazing guests.
as always.
Yeah, we have
We always
multiple.
can't.
We have multiple amazing guests.
We've got a
next week.
booker.
You got. Well, you are the booker.
The booker pimp will get some people there. And then we'll have these episodes up and we're all good.
Yep.
All right. Have a great
All
weekend,
right.
everybody.
Everybody have a fantastic time. Enjoy the bazaar.
Well.
All these fantastic vendors here.
Yes, come and visit.
Please purchase items on this beautiful, beautiful day. And
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
yep, can't wait till
10
we
to
make
3.
it.
And it's an awesome place to be.
Can't wait to make it back here again.
I know we'll be back actually next month. Just
Yep.
in case anybody's listening,
Yep.
we'll be back on the second Saturday.
You said just in case anybody's
Just
listening.
when they listen.
Just in case
Or
anybody's
paying
listening.
attention to our schedule. Next month, it will not be the third Saturday. It will be the second Saturday.
Mhm.
Because we're having a special event here for nonprofits. There's going to be
Okay.
10, 12 nonprofits here in the courtyard.
Yeah,
And we're going to do our podcast.
And there's also a talent show is happening, right?
Yeah.
Talent show is happening October
20th.
20th,
Friday night.
Friday night, of which we will be the judges.
Yeah.
So it'll be Scott, yourself,
Yes.
myself,
Yes.
um,
Nicole Hancock.
Nicole Hancock from Cine Bistro,
Somebody from
and
ABC.
somebody from ABC, WWSB.
Joe or John Pennington, sorry.
Oh, and you know who else it is?
And maybe we have a.
You know who else it is?
We have another.
Yes, we do.
woman, I think.
Yes, we do. Michelle Cavani.
Oh, Shan?
Michelle Cavani is
Right, from
going to go ahead.
Keys to Sarasota.
Keys to Sarasota.
Right.
Is going to go ahead.
So we've got a panel of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to get a word in edgewise with them.
No, no.
I don't really know.
I'm not sure what the show's going to be, whether it's a talent show or us.
I can say between you, Michelle, and I, we've got a lot of talkers. And the other two might be maybe not as crazy as us. But it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I
And
think that the show is going to be our critiquing of each one. Because they're gonna go ahead and have the talent,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna sit back like Simon Cowell
Yeah.
of America's Got Talent, and just each one of us will make a comment
Yeah.
about their talent or lack thereof,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna decide the winner.
So if you're interested, I'm sure you can find the Bazaar at Apricot Line on Facebook and sign up to be in the talent show. I think she's got about a half a dozen people signed up right now, Kim does.
Yeah, I
And
believe
there's still
so.
room, there's still room for
And
more.
look at it too also on I Love Downtown Sarasota. It's a group kind of page, and we are also promoting that as well quite a bit with the
Right.
forum to go and sign up right there.
We've got
So
1 month, we got to fill
Yeah.
a few spots.
Let's go. Let's go,
Get some,
Sarasota.
you know,
Let's see your
come up,
talent.
Tell jokes, tap dance, sing.
blow smoke rings,
Out of your-
cigarettes,
out of your nose?
out of your nose, out of your ears. I don't know. Do jump roping tricks. I don't know. Do something interesting.
Yeah, it'll be great.
All right, Scott.
All right, have a great weekend,
You too.
and we'll see you next week.
All right.
All
Stay
right.
class, everybody.
Bye.
Act
Make
like
your choices.
Make your choices, everybody.